Wish Upon a Star by Janson Davies. Chapter 1. Silence Between Battles. The battlefield had been quiet for 12 hours, an unnatural silence that unnerved space medic Jim Mathers far more than blaster fire ever had. Bodies of fallen soldiers from both the Telluri Coalition and the Andros Confederacy lay strewn across the cratered plains of Sector LX-9. The war, raging for over a decade, had hit an unexpected pause. Commanders were regrouping, fleets were recharging, and planets were licking their wounds. Jim adjusted his med pack, stepping over a charred exosuit still smoldering. He didn't care whose insignia it bore. They were all just meat under metal when the fighting stopped. His bioscanner pinged faintly. Life signs detected. The source, half buried under collapsed alloy plating, a Tharnaxian soldier with gills fluttering like dying butterfly wings. Jim knelt. "Easy now," he muttered, injecting a stasis serum. "You'll live long enough to curse the universe again." He activated his transport beacon, and with a hum, the wounded alien disappeared into medship orbit. Jim exhaled. That was the last one. Alone now, he wandered beneath the mangled carcass of what had once been a gleaming Androsian warship. Debris creaked around him as he slumped under a broken hull. A flicker of glint caught his eye. A lamp. Not just any lamp, this one shimmered with etchings no species he knew used anymore. Gold filigree curled around its base like tendrils, Arabian style. Comical, really. Jim picked it up and chuckled. "Sure, let's see what cosmic joke you've got." He rubbed it. The air thickened. Smoke poured out, swirling like ink in zero gravity. It coalesced into a figure, elegant, alien, and very, very blue. "Jim Mathers," said the genie. "I am Celestia of the ancient Wishbound Order. You have summoned me. You have 3 wishes." Jim blinked. "You're kidding." "No," she said, her voice like a 1,000-year sigh. "But caution, mortal. Wishes tend to be misunderstood." She explained the rules, each wish permanent unless reversed, but reversal still burned up the wish allotment. Jim scratched his scalp. "So, galactic monkey's paw." Celestia smirked. "Ver apt." Chapter 2. The Cost of Peace. Jim paced beneath the wreckage, lamp still warm in his grip. Celestia hovered just above the ground, arms folded, her glowing pupils watching him with the patience of a deity used to foolish mortals. He bit his thumb. "Okay, first wish. I want the war to end." Celestia tilted her head. "Be clear, Jim Mathers. Do you wish for peace, or an end to war?" "End it," Jim said. "Make it so it never existed again. Just wipe it away." Celestia drew symbols in the air, elegant loops and sharp corners, pulsing with blue light. Then she blew out a puff of smoke that smelled faintly of burnt marshmallows, and the stars went quiet. Jim felt it before he saw it. The persistent rumble beneath his boots vanished. No tremors from distant detonations, no chatter from comms, no signs of troop movements or orbital surveillance. The sky, once crowded with hovering ships and war banners, now stretched clear. Too clear. He tapped his comlink. Static. "Where's the fleet?" he asked. Celestia floated a little higher. "Gone. No more war. No armies, no politics, no enemies. No need." Jim squinted at the horizon. The battlefield looked untouched. Even the dead were gone. Vanished. As if the war had been nothing more than a collective hallucination. "You erased everything? My ship, my friends?" "Yes," she said, smiling gently. "Now there is peace." Jim's heart dropped to his boots. "What about evacuation ships, stations, support crews?" "All tied to war," she said. "They are unnecessary in your new universe." Jim felt the absurdity curl into terror. So you left me stranded on a dead planet? Celestia blinked. You didn't specify your own relocation. That's not peace, that's cosmic obliteration. Peace is the absence of conflict, she replied. You are alone, therefore at peace. Jim screamed into the windless air. Reverse it. Take it back. Very well. Celestia blew another puff of smoke. The symbols reversed, folding into themselves like origami in reverse. Ships reappeared. Laser fire echoed in the distance. Someone screamed over a comm. The stench of war returned like an old lover's perfume. Jim collapsed under the hull, panting. Okay. That one's gone. 2 left. Celestia floated closer. May your next be wiser. He looked up at her, eyes burning. Not likely. Chapter 3. Love me do. Please don't. Jim sat cross-legged on a slab of scorched metal, staring at the lamp. Celestia floated silently nearby, her eyes a gentle swirl of galaxies, her blonde ponytail moving in the gentle breeze. Waiting. You ever loved someone? He asked. Celestia considered. I once granted a wish to a Grobnaxian prince who demanded undying adoration from his court. They ate him on his birthday. Jim winced. Right, so let's say I wanted someone to love me. Really love me. Not just pity, not transactional, not chemically induced by pheromones or Terran wine coolers. Celestia's voice rippled through the air. You wish for connection. Number, I wish for love, real love, someone who cherishes me, till the end of time. She arched an eyebrow. You understand this will bind you to them eternally? Of course, Jim muttered. That's the point. And reversal still counts. Yeah. He took a deep breath. I wish for someone to truly love me, unconditionally, eternally. Celestia drew her glowing script in the air. The blue light flickered. She blew a cloud of shimmering smoke, and reality rippled. A familiar voice called out, Jimmy? Jim froze. From the smoke stepped a woman in a floral house dress, clutching a homemade casserole dish. Hair in rollers, fuzzy pink slippers. Mom? His mother stepped forward, glowing with adoration. My sweet baby, I've missed you. I've loved you since the day you were born, and now I'll love you forever. Jim recoiled. Nope. I meant romantic love. Celestia blinked. You did not specify. You knew what I meant. She shrugged. I interpret wishes, not intentions. Jim scrambled backward, his mother holding out the casserole like an offering from a domestic horror film. Sweet potatoes with marshmallows just like you love. Jim screamed. Reverse! Celestia inhaled sharply, spun the air with her script, and blew. Jim's mother vanished in a pop of glitter and maternal warmth. The battlefield returned to its usual shade of gray. Celestia hovered above the now empty crater. 2 wishes gone, 1 remains. Jim wiped his face. That's it. I'm done. No more. No wishes. I revoke. My own stupidity. Celestia smiled. Then the lamp shall remain dormant. Unless... Jim glared at her. No unless. No twist. No ironic ending. Forget the whole thing. She raised a hand in faux innocence. As you wish. Chapter 4. Forgotten Wishes. Jim lay on the medbay bunk, staring at the sterile ceiling panels above him. Celestia was gone. The lamp, missing. His fingertips still tingled with the residue of forgotten magic. A voice cut through the haze. Jim, you awake? He turned to see Dr. Varas, the ship's medic, scanning his vitals with faint concern. You were found under the wreckage of a downed Androsian vessel. No trauma, no burns, just Unconscious. What do you remember? Jim rubbed his temple. There was a flicker, blue smoke, a blonde ponytail, his mother holding a casserole, fleets blinking out of existence. He closed his eyes. Nothing, he said. I've forgotten the whole thing. Dr. Veras nodded. Then you're lucky. Most don't forget the traumas of war so easily. Jim looked out the viewport beside his bunk. The stars shimmered like they always had, beautiful, distant, indifferent. But he didn't feel the magic he once had. Down in Cargo Bay 3, a maintenance bot swept the floor, beeping rhythmically. Amid the debris, it stopped. Something glinted under a bent support beam. The bot reached down with its claw, pulled out a lamp. The bot polished it with a rag. Smoke began to curl. The end.